Hey, welcome to the Mountain City Show. I'm sitting here with Ken.
Hey, how you doing, Phil? Good to be back.
Greg.
Howdy.
I think it's kind of cool we actually get three people here today.
Yeah, first for something, isn't it?
It is. It is definitely a first.
It's our first threesome.
Kind of is. I think it's pretty cool.
I think the shyness is coming out of me.
Oh, Lord.
Hi, Ken. You're safe.
I hope so.
You're safe.
Yeah, we'll be all right. So what are we talking about today, Ken? I know you want to talk about...
Well, we can finish up what we were talking about last time. You know, we were talking about, well, we were on the security side of prepping, but then me and you recently watched a couple other podcasts.
Yeah.
And it brought the EMPs back to life. You know, at first we were thinking that you really didn't need all that much, you know, it wouldn't be that long, but as on the podcast we were listening to, but they said 6 to 9 months possibly.
Well, they said 6 to 9 months and the population would be gone.
Yeah, 90%.
90%. Which is kind of scary because the podcast we were watching was Sean Ryan.
Yes.
Sean Ryan is a former Navy SEAL, former
CIA.
So EMP, electromagnetic pulse?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then the guy he had on was, what was his name? I don't remember his name.
Yeah, I don't remember his name either.
And he was a CIA guy too, if I remember right. And his specialty was, I think it was EMPs, if I remember right.
Yeah, it was definitely electrical because that's all.
He had to put together the analysis for the United States for that.
Well, it wasn't just EMPs. It was everything electrical as far as it could have been natural, solar. You know, he brought up that.
Yeah, but I thought it was interesting that, well, number one is why are they talking about it?
It's a lot of them been talking about it lately.
You agree?
Ain't just Sean Ryan. You know, several of these podcasts has these former special forces guys, CIA. And then if you go back and look at, I think it was the White House or the Pentagon put it out about China invading Taiwan. They were preparing to invade Taiwan before 2025.
Yeah, they're going to do it before Biden gets out of office.
Yeah, and they're saying now they expect it before Biden goes out of office. And then if that's the case, an EMP strike on the U.S. would keep us out of it altogether.
That would knock our power grid out, right? That's what you guys are saying?
Oh, yeah, it would knock everything.
And they were talking about
Cell
nationwide.
phones, everything.
Everything. Vehicles.
Put us in the dark ages.
Oh, yeah, it would.
Yeah, I see what you guys are talking about.
Yeah, and it's kind of scary, though. Like, before, you never, ever heard anybody talk about it, but now you hear all these extremely, like, tip-of-the-spear people bringing it up, saying, hey, and then you have them, like, a good example would be a lot of them moved out of cities, went and got anywhere from 2 to 100 acres. They do not live anywhere near anybody, right? Kind of like how we are up here. You know, it's a small town.
We got to start a garden, I guess. Huh?
And they're farmsteading, yeah. They're
Yes,
farmsteading.
that's what they're doing. And
yeah.
When you look at that, like even a lot, like one guy used to go on Joe Rogan all the time. I can't remember his name. He has Cleared Hot podcast, right?
Okay, yeah.
He's up in Montana. That's where he does his podcast. And Sean Ryan, he does his in Tennessee, Kentucky, somewhere around.
Tennessee.
Well, there's a lot of the major cities being abandoned now.
Yeah.
And it's not just because of money, I suppose.
Yeah, I wouldn't think so. Yeah, but it makes you wonder, like, hey, why would you want to be one of the 1,000 people that are moving to Florida every day or Texas when everybody who has a whole lot of knowledge that the general population does not have are not doing that. They're going the other way.
In fact, they left Florida, actually, some of them.
Yeah.
Yes, Sean Ryan left Florida.
Would you want to be in that populated state when the shit hits the fan?
No, I tell my dad that. Dad's in Florida. And I was like, Dad, why would you want to live there? I go, it's wall-to-wall people, wall-to-wall city. I wouldn't want to be there.
Yeah, and it's getting worse.
It's definitely getting worse. Crime goes, more people come, more crime.
The crime's up everywhere, too, yeah.
It is.
In the big cities, yeah.
I mean, even where we are.
Well, because there's no consequence for it either.
No, even where we are, we have crime, you know?
Well, and they still got the same basic highways, and they're going to try to do evacuations for hurricanes probably, and it's going to be twice as bad.
Oh, yeah, in Florida.
Yep.
I've been through a hurricane. It's horrible. It's the scariest thing I've ever seen. You
That
know,
state's growing population-wise.
140 mile an hour winds for 8 hours.
Yeah.
Straight. It does not stop.
Probably sound like a freight train.
For 8 hours.
Yeah.
You know, it's not like a tornado comes in at 300 mile an hour winds, but it's going in 15 seconds. This is 8 hours of hell watching stuff blow. It's bad. But anyway, I do agree with you. I think it's just a strange coincidence that all these people are talking about it.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
What gets me is the CIA guys talking about it.
Yeah. Openly.
Yes,
like, hey.
openly.
Like telling you people need to know, and they come out and they don't just say, hey, well, let me tell you about this. You know, it's, hey, people need to understand and know this information. Like it's almost like a public service announcement they're doing, trying to get people to listen to them. You agree?
It's definitely a lot of chatter there. Definitely a lot of chatter.
Well, yeah, I see what you're saying. There's got to be truth to it because there's truth in numbers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially with those type of people.
Yeah, the credentials on these people, that's what gets me.
Yeah.
Oh, it's ridiculous.
And then what's the government doing to these folks? Anything to making them look like total idiots, or
No, they let them talk.
They let them go.
Well, they let them talk, but some of them, I think, like Mike Glover, he's been added to like the
Watch list.
Oh,
See
yeah,
what I'm saying?
He can't
That's what
fly
I'm saying.
nowhere.
Yeah, there you go.
They won't let him fly anywhere.
Yeah, they consider him domestic extremist.
Yeah.
And
Isn't that
that's,
crazy?
And he's former CIA and
Yeah,
don't think
Green Beret.
I think Green Beret.
Green Beret. But
they're worried about a panic if
maybe.
it does get out.
Well, I mean,
There's going to be panic once it happens.
Here's my theory on all of it. Like the American people are so busy and poor
They don't
and
care.
work so much, they
They
just
don't
do
care.
not give a shit.
They don't care.
Yeah.
They don't have time to give a shit. Between working 2 jobs, raising kids,
Right.
and not having any money, they just do not give a shit. Like I am too busy to give
To
a
worry
shit
about
that
it.
what the hell's going
I'll
on.
worry about it when it happens.
Yeah,
Right?
Yeah.
They're worried about when it
When
happens.
it happens.
If something happens, we'll deal with it then. But in the meantime, I'm working my 2 jobs, taking care of kids, going to sports events, running the kids to baseball, running the girl to
Yeah.
softball.
That's
you know?
exactly it. That's
They-
what I was going to say.
they don't have
Baseball,
time
softball.
They don't have time for any of it.
And your poorer folks too. They're not worried about it either. But those are the folks that are going to find out that what it's like when the government tries to take care of you full time.
Yeah, I can
Because
agree
it's
with
not
that.
going it's not going to happen for one.
Well, they're not giving you enough money to even survive
No.
anymore. You know?
So
And if you would have heard
You
that
know.
conversation, the government is not coming to save you in that situation.
it's not going to come.
no, nobody's coming.
No help's coming.
No help will come.
No, so like I said,
None.
in our past podcast where we talked about security and growing stuff and all that, that is on the light side of it. What they were talking about apocalyptic. And
Oh yeah, they were talking about
6 to 9 months of no power, no water.
And have to protect what's yours as well in the process.
It's just ridiculous.
Because what do you think the populace is going to do? They're going to scramble, and and it's going to be total chaos. They're going to be coming to try to steal what you have.
I don't even know if that's chaos ain't the word, because you're talking 6 to 9 months losing 90% of the population is what
Yeah.
they said. That is just
Dying
9
off.
months. Yeah, they'll be dead
Dying off.
either through violence or starvation or underlying medical
lack of water. Yeah,
Yeah.
underlying medical issues.
Yeah.
Like first is your elderly.
yeah. It's
And
just
it just
crazy
works its way down.
conversation. And I just thought that was great to finish us talking about the survival aspects of stuff. With that after seeing that.
Yeah, I agree with that. I do. I agree with that.
Because everything we talked about would be normal situations, normal
Natural
disasters. Yeah,
Okay.
that's
Yeah.
what we talked about in our last podcast. But
Yeah.
this here just took and blew out of the water. And if that's a true scenario with China facing Taiwan to do something like that, because they said it doesn't have to be EMPs; it could be attacks on your transformers. And they said transformers
yeah.
are already
Right. Well, we already had that in state of Montana. Didn't a couple get shot up?
well, California.
California, is that where it was?
North Carolina.
North Carolina
A
also.
bunch of them got shot up. Remember that? We were talking
Yeah,
about
it was
that.
North
at
Carolina.
the prior
45,000 people lost power.
show. Yeah, just shooting up transformers.
Yep, and in that situation,
Substations.
Yep, substations. And in that
Yeah.
situation, you can divert power from other areas. But in an overall large combined effort, it'll take out too many areas at one time.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they were also talking about what you said, the transformers. But the transformers, people that think of a transformer, I think of the one that's like on my pole.
Yeah,
No,
Right? But that's not it.
I meant
The-
like a substation.
that's what it is.
Well, no, these ones are
Yeah.
the size. Well, they have transformers literally the size of an 18-wheeler.
Yeah.
Right? These are the ones they're talking about that are hard for them to replace. Like there's a 2 to
Right.
5 year wait to get one.
Right.
And a lot of them are made in China.
Imagine
So
that.
the one guy was like, well, they probably could put some type of malware in that transformer and they can just turn it off whenever they want. And there's not that many of them.
300 of them, they said.
Yeah, there's 300. So click of a button, if they come from China, anybody affiliated with China, it's probably got some type of malware in
Well, it
it.
wouldn't surprise me. I mean, they just let a balloon fly over the country.
And they talked about balloons could deliver EMPs also.
Yeah,
Oh,
there
yeah,
you
that
go.
balloon that was there. Mhm. The only issue with it is, though, here's where I find the fault in what they were talking about, is that you would have to do the entire country.
Yes.
Yeah.
And for that to happen is just, I don't even know
It's
how it
enormous.
could happen.
It's enormous.
Yeah, I don't think it could. I mean, cities like New York, yeah. DC, probably.
That'd be a coordinated effort. wouldn't
Every city, every major
Do
city.
you remember what he said? It only takes 9 specific ones to wipe out the whole country.
What do you mean 9?
9 specific substations, which would cause other ones to go offline.
Oh, so what you're saying is,
One
oh,
feed
It'd be like
Yeah.
a domino effect.
domino effect.
I got you.
Okay, domino
Because
effect.
they wouldn't say which specific 9, but they said it could be at least as 9.
So there's
Yeah.
only 9 stations that you have to. There's
Hit.
9 stations.
That you would have to hit.
Yeah, 9
Yeah.
stations.
That's a hell of a lot easier than 300 at one time.
Yeah.
9 at one time is still a coordinated effort, but could be done. Wouldn't
And
you
then
think?